I'm not a writer, just an average guy who experienced something so profoundly unsettling that it needs to be shared. I'm sharing this because maybe, just maybe, it might prevent someone from making the same mistake we did. It was a regular Saturday evening, and my friends and I, a group of skeptics, decided to test the boundaries of reality. We gathered in my modest living room, the air filled with the scent of freshly brewed coffee and a hint of skepticism. We were about to engage in an activity that many warned against, but we brushed off the warnings as mere superstitions. We were about to use a Ouija Board, a tool that supposedly had the power to communicate with the dead. We started with a light-hearted spirit, joking and laughing, the room echoing with our mirth. The board lay on the coffee table, an ordinary-looking piece of wood with letters and numbers etched into it. It looked harmless, a child's plaything. But as the evening progressed, the atmosphere in the room began to change, subtly, almost imperceptibly. The first sign that something was amiss was the sudden drop in temperature. It was a warm summer evening, yet the room felt as if it was being cooled by an unseen air conditioner. We shrugged it off, attributing it to a sudden change in weather. But then, the lights began to flicker, a rhythmic pulsating that seemed to be in sync with our heartbeat. We looked at each other, the laughter now replaced by a growing sense of unease. We decided to proceed, attributing the strange occurrences to mere coincidences. We placed our hands on the planchette, the small wooden piece that would supposedly move to spell out messages from the other side. I asked the first question, my voice betraying a hint of nervousness. "Is there anyone here with us?" The room fell silent, the only sound being the soft hum of the refrigerator from the kitchen. We waited, our eyes fixed on the planchette. And then, it moved. Slowly, almost hesitantly, it moved to the word yes. A chill ran through the room, a tangible shift in the atmosphere that felt as if we were no longer alone. We exchanged uneasy glances, the skepticism now replaced by a growing fear that we were playing with forces beyond our understanding. The questions flowed, and with each answer, the movement of the planchette became more fluid, more confident. It revealed details, personal details about each one of us, things that no one else could possibly know. The room felt heavy, the air thick with an unseen presence that seemed to be growing in power with each passing moment. As the session progressed, the messages became darker, more ominous. It spoke of death, of suffering, of dark secrets that lay buried in the depths of our souls. It revealed things about our pasts, things that we had buried deep within, never to be spoken of again. The fear escalated, morphing into a palpable entity that seemed to feed off our growing terror. We tried to end the session, to say goodbye to the entity we had contacted, but it refused to let go. The planchette moved on its own, spelling out threats and warnings, painting a picture of a reality too horrifying to comprehend. The room felt oppressive, as if the walls were closing in on us. The lights flickered more violently, casting eerie shadows that seemed to dance with a life of their own. The temperature dropped further, our breaths visible in the freezing air. We were trapped, caught in the grip of something dark and malevolent. It felt as if we were being pulled into the board, into a world of darkness and despair. We could feel it, a tangible entity that sought to consume us, to take us into its realm of darkness. In a desperate bid to end the nightmare, I grabbed the board and threw it into the fireplace, the flames consuming it with a hungry fervor. The room filled with a foul smell, a mixture of burning wood and something far more sinister, a smell that clawed at our senses, threatening to pull us into madness. As the board burned, the oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sudden eerie calm. We sat there, in stunned silence, unable to comprehend the magnitude of what had just transpired. We had touched something dark, something that existed in the shadows, lurking at the edges of our reality. We parted ways, a silent agreement that we would never speak of this night again. But the events of that evening haunted us, a dark shadow that clung to us, refusing to let go. Days turned into weeks, and the fear refused to dissipate. We started seeing things, shadows in the corners of our eyes, fleeting glimpses of figures that vanished when we turned to look. We heard whispers, soft, insidious voices that seemed to come from nowhere, yet were everywhere, filling our minds with dark thoughts and fears. Sleep became a luxury, as nightmares filled our nights, vivid, horrifying dreams that left us waking up in cold sweats, our hearts pounding in our chests. We became paranoid, jumping at the slightest sounds, seeing threats in every shadow. As time passed, the line between reality and the nightmares blurred, the darkness seeping into our daily lives, a constant oppressive force that threatened to consume us. We realized too late that we had opened a door that should have remained closed, that we had invited something into our world that had no intention of leaving. We sought help, turning to priests, psychics, anyone who could possibly help us rid ourselves of the darkness that had taken hold. But it was futile. The entity we had contacted was too powerful, too malevolent to be banished by mere mortals. And now, as I sit here writing this, I can feel it, watching me, its presence a constant reminder of the mistake we made. I can hear it whispering, its voice a soft, insidious hiss that fills my mind with dark thoughts and fears. I don't know how much longer I can hold on, how much longer I can fight the darkness that threatens to consume me. I can only hope that by sharing this, by warning others of the dangers of meddling with forces beyond our understanding, that I can somehow find redemption, that I can somehow find a way to close the door we so foolishly opened. But as I look around, the shadows seem to grow darker, the whispers louder, and I realize with a growing sense of dread that it might already be too late.